do open public comment. I said general, but I meant to say open. Public public comment. The public is allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues or items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on these items. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Go ahead.
Good evening, commissioners, mayor, and community members. My name is Nuhat Kaptan. Here in Lawrence, I'm the founder of Adopt an Alley Foundation, focused on stewardship, accountability, and taking care of overlooked spaces that connect our community. I've received recognition from the U.S. House of Representatives, the California State Assembly, and the Senate for community service, and I share that for one reason. I take public service and accountability seriously, and that's exactly why I'm here tonight. As I'm concerned and a new resident, I believe what's being proposed at 711 New Hampshire is the wrong decision for this city. In 5 days, over 500 residents, workers, stakeholders have signed a petition asking you to preserve this lot and protect downtown access. The number is growing, and it reflects the real concern of the people who rely on this space every day. It's not just a parking lot, it's a critical access point. It supports small businesses, employees, and the daily function of downtown Lawrence. And most importantly, it works right now, today. Yet the city's own report describes it as an underutilized parking lot, but for the people who depend on it, that does not reflect reality. At the same time, the city has already committed $1 million in taxpayer funding toward a project that's not fully approved, with a timeline already underway. The project has also received federal and state low-income housing tax credits. This is not a project searching for funding. It's a project already funded, asking for more. Cohen and Esri has already projected groundbreaking in late 2026, but we still have time to make the right decision. Transparency is a concern. Early last week, I requested project documents. I was told to file a formal open records request just to review them. I've just received them today. So while public money is being committed, the public is still being asked to formally request basic information. I was told the city may be considering donating the land. And then we're not just talking about losing access or talking about funding. We're talking about the public funding the loss of its own public land, a highly utilized public asset. And that deserves a clear public answer, because when the public spaces become private, open access becomes controlled access, and public parking becomes a limited amenity for some. This is not an equal trade. This is a choice between progress and preservation. This is a choice between something that works today versus an uncertain permanent consequence. Because once this lot is gone, it's gone. And the impact will be immediate on workers, small businesses, and how people access downtown. I want to close with this. My Aunt Layla passed away this February. She brought her family here, the Shaheens, in 2001. They've had businesses in downtown Lawrence for 2 decades. She believed in this town, the openness, the shared spaces, and the sense of community. And when we start removing places that serve everybody, we start losing that identity. So I'm asking you, clearly and directly, stop this development at 711 New Hampshire and preserve this lot and protect downtown access.
Thank you.
Eric Hyde, 66046. Okay, I'll speak for myself. Okay, I went to the Connect City board meeting yesterday, and I was really impressed with Evan Carinta, the right-of-way projects, because I'm a volunteer at Naismith Park official. I'm meeting with Rod Hoffer tomorrow at the park, and we're going to go over some stuff, just so you get it. But what a point of that is that I've seen the infrastructure. The point of that is that I know it's going to be great. Next thing, there's a drug house in my neighborhood. It's been there since around COVID. At first, I thought it was run by black people. I used to know a lot of bad people, let me just say that. But now I think it's run by white people that are selling, I wouldn't want to die, but selling bad things, not not like, not like 420 things. Let's see here. So basically over the years since that house has been there, I've been walking that a lot. I'm eyeing it almost every day. I used to walk my dog every day. I'm not going to say where it is. But it's in my neighborhood. Between Menards and 23rd Street. Menards, Home Depot, and 23rd Street. The associated crime that is brought, I don't really blame those people for doing all those drugs, but they're flipping out, and I was threatened to be murdered. It was insinuated. That was, I can't remember what day that was. It was very recently, though. There's a police report. You can look it up. He said, I have a driver. Thought he was homeless, but I think before that he said, hey, you want to get beat? Because I was having some problem controlling my emotions when I was throwing away some trash, because I picked up a lot of trash over the years. That's really, anyway. Just remember that you served here for 7 years. That's a sacred number. 33 years, I don't remember what you said about that, but that's also a sacred number. And those add up to 40, which is also a sacred number. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Please amp up the efforts in my neighborhood.
Other general public comment in the room? Anyone, John? Screen.
John M. 66049. Balancing Act closed on April 10th. And public was informed that once the Balancing Act is closed, city staff will take the input gathered and present it to the community in June, which is a long way away. Before that time, I asked that you please tell us how many responses you got in Balancing Act, because our expectation that it represents the community, and we're told that the input from the community members is a vital part of the budgeting process. So waiting till June to find out some of the details of the Balancing Act is sort of a long way away. I've had multiple conversations with staff that depending on the number of responses, it may not be enough, and we may have to go back. So I think it's important to get out to the community how many responses we really got. Number two, the utility billing. There was an excellent series of articles in the Lawrence Journal World regarding the city charging water sewer ratepayers a special tax not required by state or city law. The tax isn't listed on the utility monthly bills, and the city has no policy, according to the paper, no policy governing the use of the tax. Every bill I get from the electric, gas, cable listing companies includes a property tax or franchise fee, so I can see how much I pay them. Many ratepayers and I would like to know the franchise fee being charged on the water and sewer bill. And Mayor, you were quoted as saying the city practice may need to change, and that fee may need to be presented as to increase the level of transparency. So I'm asking that that be done so we can see how much we actually pay. One other thought, Mayor, you were talking about subdividing the responses to the last survey that was done. I think it's important that you keep in mind the actual number that represented each one of those subdivisions. It makes a huge difference whether when you subdivide there's 200 responses versus 5, and so the meaningfulness of any particular subdivision depends very much on what the actual number was in terms of those responses, because they mean less the smaller the number, even though the percentage may be high. Finally, I just want to note that I delivered these remarks with civility and respect. That's the last time I'm going to say that, but I try to do the same thing every time. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Killian?
Good evening. Very entertaining tonight. We get serious. I have a couple of issues I need to bring up. I've sent a video recently to you guys. I know y'all can't speak out loud, but acknowledgement that y'all did receive it. Oh, great. Okay. There's some very serious safety concerns muzzle breach, officers pointing guns at corrugated buildings where there was children, teachers, and parents. Actually, 2 officers pointing guns doing muzzle breach issues. It was in retaliation for me speaking out, but that's a different issue. My concern was more about the children and the parents in there, and if something would have happened, if someone would have slipped, accidents do happen. So maybe the chief of police needs to get some gun training for some of their officers. Real basic, especially with muzzle breach. That's all I want to speak about that comment. Number 2, I did some court requests, asked for some very specific information, and been having fun with Kentley or whatever his name is, the guy who does records for LKPD's major. A little fun with them. I keep boxing y'all in, and boxes get smaller, so he needs to stop playing games with me and give me my information that I asked for. Metadata is non-exempt. It's factual. That information deserves to be mine. And there's a few other issues that I asked about, but I won't go into those. I'd really like that information. Thursday would be technically, I guess, the 3rd day, and he's kind of been working with me, but he's given me a lot of excuses and trying to narrow the scope, but have ways around things, and he's not a very bright guy. So I would ask y'all to encourage him to do the right thing, give me the information that I asked. I'm not asking for opinions. I'm not asking for any analysts I'm asking for metadata, location, and what was said on how they got my information. That's it. Stuff that's supposed to be mine. They keep wanting me to go to the DA's office, but they don't have that information because it wasn't provided to them into my discovery. So I have to get it from LKPD. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I emailed quite a few, and it's kind of nice that I see Miss Tomei, and I saw Miss Wheeler jet out real quick. And, I email you guys a lot, but it's nice to see y'all in person sometimes. Anyway, it's very entertaining. Good luck, you guys. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the room? How about online?
Yes. Try again. Stephen Watts?
It's impossible to give you guys information in a time-sensitive matter. What you were fed with respect to community development block grant monies, Mr. Courtney, is bullshit. The money is ported to the town, and then the town determines how it is distributed. Inside the internal bowels of our town, the community development block grant money can be allocated to individual homeowners. It is the town policy that states individual homeowners cannot come before the town commission and apply for monies. And that is why the money is ported to not-for-profits. And these not-for-profits pay themselves quite well. Our town has decided, instead of having public housing for the town, it is for-profit or not-for-profit. But come on, give me a break. These not-for-profits are a joke. Kansas was the first state, to become the first not-for-profit foster care operation, meaning that the state does not operate foster care. A not-for-profit does. We don't want to do that fucking shit here in Lawrence. It clearly has not worked. So when you are told by the idiot, whatever person it was, and I'm sorry it has to come to me calling them an idiot, but you know, you don't get to talk back and forth when this bullshit is being produced. It is the town itself, through the community development simpletons, and I want to exclude Mr. Crick and Ms. Walters a little bit from that. But at the same time, what does it keep going on? This money is available so that individual homeowners can apply for grants to repair their homes, provided they meet the income eligibility guidelines, but the town doesn't want to assume that paperwork. I understand it takes effort and money to do it, but please, what you just were informed
Time.
earlier is bullshit. Go
Thank
fuck
you.
yourself, Sherry. Goodbye.
Dominique.
Good evening, commissioners. It's me, Dominique, again. I just wanted to thank you guys for the discussion that you've had today with the public comment. I thought it was very interesting, and to see the process unfold, you know, again, by going to the commission meeting, seeing the deliberation, to see the thought, to hear the responses from the community, to see how that got applied and how we as a community commission, you know, all discussed it. I thought it was very nice, I guess. It was very informative too as well. And you guys kind of know my shtick at this point. I talk about the new Boston Crossing, now called 1059, but I really want to just hone into the idea that when we think about development in Lawrence, we have decided that we are developing out to the west. And this whole issue of how to preserve the built environment and conserve our beautiful natural surroundings is something that is going to continue coming up, even if we expand only to the west, where maybe there's not necessarily floodplain to be concerned about. So I just really want to focus on that and have that be kind of an idea, because when we think about placemaking, you know, one of the things that is really important about our town is that we are situated between two rivers. And unfortunately for our development, we have now become encumbered by floodplain. But I want us to start thinking about that as a natural benefit too, because if you think about the history, we've had these great floods, and as we build up, you know, I understand citizens' concerns about density and how everybody wants to feel like they have a piece of land, but I feel like if the city can start getting more stewardship of our open spaces, and the community feels like they have more of an authority over these community spaces, then perhaps we can start to negotiate the need for everybody to have their own plot of land and have this like ownership idea, and we can kind of go towards a community model where density is now not going to be seen as something that's so scary or something that is so frightful or something that has like, you know, we will have these hurdles. Parking, in my opinion, it becomes a hot topic, and I think it's kind of stupid personally, but again, we'll get there as we continue to grow. But the fact is Lawrence is growing, but we need to maintain our parks as well. And so I would like to see, you know, communication with the Parks and Rec to see if there would be more ways for there could, you know, natural stewardship or have the community steward. I know there's been some events happening, but like, I don't know what the answer is though, but the emphasis on having our places as they already are in the current built system and having that as like a community ownership, maybe revitalizing them in certain ways, we can start to get out of this idea that we have to destroy our natural environment to accommodate more people and more housing, in the sense that we have to have like large lots with people having their own, you know, large backyards or something like that. So just something to think about. The state is also redoing their flood mapping. So that should be coming out here shortly in the next couple of months. So I would be interested for this to be looked at. Thank you.
Thank you.
Risa Williams.
Hi, this is Risa 66049. I just wanted to again touch on the salaries and the amount of money that is being paid out to the people who are doing the hard work. Complex, very complex cases. It's difficult work, and it takes a lot. So yes, we are pouring money into the people that are doing the hard work. I appreciate the block grant. I support everything that was said regarding that. Stabilization, helping those that actually need the money, not building those large lots like Dominique said. I see that all the time. I live out by Monterey Way in Peterson. There's a new large development going in, and I'm pretty sure those houses are not going to be affordable. So helping those that are at the bottom, that need the hand up. So again, just appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
That's all the comments.
Brings us to the end. Would there be a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner DeVos, second by Vice Mayor Courtney. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Good night, everyone.
Elizabeth.